what is staying comfortable costing you? It's costing you your energy and your life. Those are the most important things, your time. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Step into your 40s, step into your late 30s, a stronger version of yourself in 2026. Don't fight for your own limitations. It's all downhill. Don't argue for that. Why would you argue for your own limitations? Argue for things that are going to help you and serve you. Don't argue for things that are going to hold you back and limit you. All right, welcome back to the Next Level Dad Fitness Podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why comfort is the enemy of growth. Now, we've all heard this headline before, 2026, crush your comfort zones. You'll see it on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you go, even on TV. And everybody wants to start the new year crushing their comfort zones, just taking control of their lives. And all of this stuff is good. But honestly, it's just like motivational type content. And sometimes I see that stuff and I don't really take anything from it, like nothing tangible. So my goal with this episode here today is to maybe leave you with a couple of nuggets, a couple of tangible things that you can take and apply in your life to move forward and to actually crush 2026. First things first, we got to talk about what is a comfort zone, right? For somebody my age, 40, you have a wife, you have kids, you're juggling a career, you're doing a podcast now, maybe you're starting a business. This doesn't feel comfortable. Like, what are you talking about? Feels like the world is on my shoulders. Got rental properties, tenants. I don't even want to get started with the real estate. Having a wife, 3 daughters, that in and of itself is a job, right? And even having a conversation with my wife is such a mission. Sometimes it can be so frustrating. We'll be sitting in the kitchen and I want to listen, and we just cannot even get 2 words to each other because life is just hectic. This isn't comfortable, man. Right? Can't even have a conversation without interruptions. It's a beautiful thing, this family thing, but it's not easy. Making time to be intentional with her. Always be intentional with my wife. Listen to what she needs. Listening to what's going on with her life. Fellas, because things aren't right with the wifey, man, everything is just off. They want everything. And they want you to know, and they want you to feel, and they want you to listen, and they want you to not say anything, but then they want you to say something all at once. It's complicated, man. Being intentional, that's uncomfortable. Now having 3 young daughters, or you have kids, you have boys, whatever you have, each one of these kids has a specific need. They're all at different ages. Right? And you have to show up, be intentional as a dad, take care of business, all of that stuff. Show love, affection. That's challenging, man. That is not easy. One of the kids wants to play dolls, the other wants to do puzzles, the other one wants to talk about whatever's going on socially with her friends. I coach them too, coaching them in sports. All of this stuff, man, it spread us so thin as dads, just with our families. Now, throw in the extra responsibilities of work, your obligations. I'm starting a little side hustle here, helping men with their fitness. That's not easy. Maybe you got something going on yourself. So it's not surprising that when someone mentions, hey, get out of your comfort zone, start working out, I can totally see some guys being like, man, shut up. Please stop. I have so much on my plate. Like, you don't even know anything. You don't know anything about me. You have people helping you. You have it easier than me. You don't know me. You don't know my situation. It's so much harder than yours. Brother, I get you. I hear you. But it's hard for everybody, man. And so when it comes to a person of my age, you're in your 40s, you start to think like, why would I want to make my life more complicated? Why would I look for things to pile on to the already million things that I have going? Why do I want to be uncomfortable? Why do I want to overwhelm myself? It's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take things off of my plate. I'm trying to make my life less complicated. And now you're talking about fitness dad and get into a fitness routine and you should start eating healthier, start waking up earlier, preparing your food. Like, golly, sheesh, that's just too much. Now, do I need a personal trainer because I haven't worked out in a while? I can see why men would just be not going to do it. I have to let go of something and it's going to be the gym and it's going to be all of this time preparing all of this food. Don't have time. But I will tell you that implementing a fitness routine and a wellness routine and starting to eat well actually does the opposite of what you think it's going to do because you're going to then begin to shed the activities and the habits that don't serve you. You're not going to have time. You're going to have to wake up early because you have a family to go to the gym. Well, I can't wake up early. Well, then you're going to have to go to bed earlier. And now you have cut out the Netflix that you watch or the scrolling for an hour to two, knowing all of the P. Diddy drama. That was like one of the recent ones on Netflix. Everybody was talking about it. All that stuff is interesting. It catches your attention, but it's not going to help you knowing what P. Diddy did with whatever he did. I haven't watched it, but I heard, that dude's way out there. More power to him. Hey, whatever makes you happy. You're going to have to cut that stuff out. So it's going to actually make your life less complicated because you have these things that you need to get done. We desire as humans to live a life of simplicity. And I can think of my life just a few years back. And I just think, and man, life used to be so much easier, way less complicated than it is now. Why? What's going on? So naturally, the thought process is let's do things that bring me more comfort. But that thought process actually shrinks you. Of course, I want to sleep in. Of course, I want the nice warm PJs. I want a nice cup of coffee in the morning in a warm house, snuggled up next to my wife. Of course, I want that. Everybody wants easy, fast, fun. Everybody wants that. But then for some of us, there's that little voice inside your head. And that little voice doesn't go away. And it keeps telling you that you're capable of so much more. You're capable of becoming so much more and doing so much more. And it gets louder and louder. And then maybe you see somebody who was down and out 6 months ago, overweight, tired, unmotivated. And then you see somebody's progress. You see how much they're into whatever they're into, business or fitness. And you're like, man, that is cool. But I can assure you that that person, that journey required a lot of personal growth and getting out of your comfort zone. That transformation that you saw online, that you see, that's everywhere. Everybody's getting better. Everybody's transforming and they're putting it online so you can see it. That required discipline, discomfort. So growth is not easy, it's not fast, and it's not always fun. But the growth is outside. The growth is the early mornings. It's taking that extra step to prepare your food, getting up early to work on your passion project. Maybe you're not into fitness, or maybe you're into something totally different. Maybe you want to start a baking business, but you just don't have the time. Well, then you start getting up early. Maybe you like motorcycles. Maybe you like boats and you've been wanting to put out some boat content or whatever, and you start to see people doing it. So, a huge life hack for me has been to set an alarm at 8:30 p.m. and that says, "Hey, you have 30 minutes." When that thing rings, you got to read the kids a story, you got to kiss them good night, you got to go take a shower, and then it's lights out, because I have these passion projects that I'm working on. Got to get up early, got to go work on the fitness content, got to work on the podcast stuff. Right now my kids are in school. So I have to take advantage of this time that I have, this window, and I have to be productive. I have to, push myself. And so comfort is doing just enough that you feel productive, right? I can't tell you how many times I've said, I'm going to go hard. I want to do this, but I'm just tired. I used to say that all the time. All the time. I would say it over and over and over. I'm just too tired. I can't do this. I'm just too tired. That mindset was not a growth mindset. That was a self-limiting belief mindset. And it was like default. I would have a full night's sleep and I'd just be like, oh, I'm just tired. Kids and everyone's just like, yeah, family life. And as I've aged, I can tell you that that voice does not go away. It never goes away. But what you have to do and what I have to do is change that voice. And I have to say, no, I'm not tired. I can do this. I will do this. You have to be mindful of that voice and those thoughts that are running in your head. You have to be mindful of the things that you say. It's easy and comfortable just to say, no, can't do it. I'm tired. It's hard and uncomfortable because most people's default is just, sadly to say, negative. I know for sure I've been there. Default negative. Default, I'm tired. So you can't listen to that negative voice. You have to change it. A comfort zone requires no plan of attack. It doesn't require you to really get out, put yourself out there. You just basically got to get through the moment. You just got to get through now. You don't have to create anything. You don't have to build anything. There's no plan of attack. You don't have to commit. All you have to do is just sit, scroll, and watch the other people do it. And then you go back to your phone and look at how long you spent on your phone, 3 hours per day. Gosh, why did I spend so much time just scrolling? I could have been creating. You're consuming or you're creating. What are you doing? Get out of that comfort zone. Go create something, right? Go take a risk. I said it earlier. Maybe you want to start that baking content. What's the popular thing right now? Bananas, cottage cheese, a scoop of protein, vanilla extract, some chocolate chips. Boom, put it out there. I swear everything has cottage cheese right now. Everything baking and, I'm all about it, man. I used to work at a bakery, panaderia. I love my pastries, even though I can't have them all the time. And so for me, putting content out there on social media and now putting content through a podcast, man, that was a big risk. It required me to get out of my comfort zone. For those of you who don't know, I'm a firefighter. I've been working for the fire department for a grand total of 19 years. I spent 5 years working for the Compton Fire Department, Compton, California, as an EMT, driving around ambulances, and now 14 years as a firefighter on the west side of LA in Culver City. And so life working for the fire department, it's very unique. It's very different because the working dynamic is very different. You're with these crew members of yours for 2 to 3 days a week, maybe even more. It's very blue collar, and deviating from the norms is often frowned upon. And even if you're not doing anything crazy online, it still opens you up to a high level of scrutiny. And I know that. I know people talk and people want to say what they want to say. All I can do is do my best, portray myself and the people that I represent in the best way possible. But it's still, I'm opening myself up very much so with putting content out there because it's not what a lot of firefighters do. But I've always felt very passionate about this. I've always wanted to do this because, I have my wife has been doing the fitness content, and I honestly didn't do it because I was just too scared of what people would say. I was so scared of my coworkers, and I was so scared of what people would say, and it kept me small. Even if the message was good, I just didn't want to have people talking about me. I didn't want to open myself up. And that's keeping yourself small. That is a small mindset. That is a self limiting belief mindset, opposite of growth mindset. And so, even though I know the people that I work with all mean well, it's still something that you deal with when you put yourself out there. That, hey, I'm out there. You open your phone and you see me talking about, hey, eat protein, eat this, eat that. Still a little weird, but like I said, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I've always wanted to do this. So I'm going to do it. And you can too. And so by taking risks, it doesn't mean you have to do this big, ginormous thing where you're way out there. It could be something small, something new that makes you uncomfortable, like eating cleaner, like going for walks, cutting back on things that don't serve you. That's getting out of your comfort zone. Maybe reading more, staying away from things that drain your energy instead of give you energy, diving into something that helps you be more creative. That's definitely something that you can do to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's giving up something that doesn't serve you anymore. For me, one of the biggest energy hacks that I've had in a long time, maybe ever, is when I gave up drinking 3 years ago. And so guys, you have no idea how much energy drinking alcohol takes from you. Hey, just a side note on alcohol, looking back maybe 5 to 7 years ago, you never would have thought I was the guy that gave up the booze. Never. Now, I wasn't like an alcoholic by any means, but if there was a party, I was definitely throwing them back. I wasn't holding back. Not a party animal, but I had fun, man. It's like, all right. Yeah, that was me. But as I got older, the recovery from drinking was just awful. I hated feeling like that. Just having a beer or 2 every night, it would drain my recovery. It would spike up my cortisol. It would hurt my sleep. When I gave it up, gosh, it is such an energy hack. But if you like drinking, more power to you, man. Not here to judge, just a suggestion that go for it. Another reason why I didn't give up drinking was because, once again, I was afraid of what people would say about me. I was afraid that people were like, dude, you're weird, man. You're a nerd. Gosh, what happened to you? That's so lame. I was just so worried about what people would think. Now, not even a second thought. It just doesn't matter what people say. It matters what you say. It matters what you think about yourself. But that does come with a cost, right? And I'll give you an example of a good friend of mine. Grew up with this guy since preschool. Stopped talking to me when I gave up the booze. Why? It's just quitting alcohol. I'm not telling you to quit drinking. When you stop something, it makes people look at themselves and look at their own habits. And not everyone's, willing and ready to do that. Not everyone's there at this point in their life. Lots of people don't want to self reflect, and that's fine. Do whatever makes you happy. I know that for me, I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to expand. I'm looking to become the next version of myself, the 2.0 version of myself. And if you're looking to be that next version of yourself, at some point, I can tell you, you're going to probably have to scale back on the booze. And you're going to probably offend people because you're going to make them feel bad about themselves. It's not even that you're saying anything, it's not even that you're doing anything. It's just people aren't ready to self reflect. And you might even lose some friends, just like the case was for me. And that's fine. And so you might say, well, Fernando, I would do all of that if I just had more energy. If I had motivation, I have zero motivation. You're talking about all this stuff, get active, eat healthy, scale back on the booze. I have no motivation. How do I fix that? And to me, the answer is very simple: get up, get started, and just move. And what do you mean, just move? Go for a walk, go outside, start walking. Through movement and through that blood circulation that you're going to get, the motivation will arrive. Trust me. A 40 to 50-minute walk daily is a humongous life hack for anybody. That's why it's a non-negotiable for me. It's probably one of the biggest life hacks I've ever had is the 40 to 50 the 40 to 50 minute walk every day. It just gets your mind going. Aside from all of the health benefits that I'm not really going to get into right now, walks naturally get your body moving. It gets you active. It gets you engaging with your neighbors, with your kids. Maybe then you throw on a podcast. You listen to motivational stuff. You listen to stuff like this. Gets you out there. Gets you moving. Motivates you. You can do this. And then maybe you're going to start going to the gym, drinking a little coffee before the gym, a little pre-workout. Nothing wrong with the pre-workout energy drink. You know, some people are against those, and I get it. But if it's a sugar-free energy drink, man, those taste so good. I'm gonna drink one of those. They aren't the best, whatever, man. I drink them on occasion. I had a pre-workout today and I had a great workout. So I don't drink it all the time, but man, think about the gains. Think about what it brings you. Then you come home after your workout and now you're motivated to eat well, right? A lot of people have turned to comfort food as a daily thing instead of an occasional thing. People are just out here eating comfort food daily as their normal diet. It's a comfort zone. Now you start to scale back because you just went to the gym and you crushed it, or you had a good walk. And as we age, you quickly find out that the foods that you used to eat in your 20s and in your 30s, they just do not work for you anymore. And what's the first sign that these foods don't work for you anymore? Your digestion. What happens when you eat pizza, pasta, all the good stuff, cookies, cheesecake? What starts to happen? Your stomach is rumbling, bro. I know this. I know this. You can't handle it anymore. Not only can you not handle it anymore, you feel like crap. You feel like crap the rest of the day. Why do you want to feel like crap the rest of the day? And then you're going to sleep bad. That's your body telling you that you can't handle this anymore. It's just directly talking to you. So you got to listen. Your body does keep receipts. Inflammation, poor sleep, high cortisol, stress, anxiety, all of that stuff. Food definitely brings on a lot of that stuff. So that's why a lot of people say, man, when you hit 40, it's all downhill. I was never able to recover, but maybe you drank Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you ate poorly the whole weekend. And it just wrecked your week. And maybe you do that every week. You stay comfortable. Maybe it's that. So what is staying comfortable costing you, right? What is it costing you? It's costing you your energy and your life. Those are the most important things, your time. You could be being productive. You could be out and about. You could be serving others. You could be helping. Instead, you just are low energy and you're tired because you chose the easy route. You chose the convenient. You chose the comfort food. And that's why I strongly believe that comfort is the enemy of growth. Step into your 40s, step into your late 30s, a stronger version of yourself in 2026. Don't fight for your own limitations. It's all downhill. Don't argue for that. Why would you argue for your own limitations? Don't do that. Argue for things that are going to help you and serve you. Don't argue for things that are going to hold you back and limit you. But I do understand this is normal. Why? Because in my mid 30s, not that long ago, I fell into the trap. We had like two kids, first two daughters. I would just always say, I'm just tired. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. You fall into the trap of like, I'm just a dad. I just provide. I just care for my family. I work. I'm supportive. And whatever my family needs, that's it. I don't do anything else. And anything else that I would do was considered selfish. So an example was I used to ride a mountain bike all the time. I live in northern LA County in Santa Clarita, and there's trails everywhere for mountain bikes. And I used to take my bike and I used to ride the trails, from like 8 to noon or 1 p.m. And I remember feeling guilty that I spent so much time riding my bike, having fun. Yeah, I was exercising, but I just felt like, oh, I should be home. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be having fun like this. Man, that's a self limiting belief. That's a small mindset. And so what happened? I stopped writing. I was getting into golf. Same thing. I stopped playing golf because of my self limiting beliefs. And I see this with a lot of guys. As our families start to grow, we slowly begin to leave things behind that used to bring us joy, things that used to keep us healthy, right? I'm talking about the mountain bike, the golf, but maybe you stop training. Maybe you stop moving. You stop doing the hard hikes. Why? To be home. Because they need us present all the time. We have to be home. That's it. As dads, we're not allowed to do anything else. But the truth is, our families need us present. They don't need us exhausted. They don't need us stressed out. They don't need us on the couch, just scrolling through the phone. They need us healthy. They need us strong. They need us present when we're home. And to touch on the phone a little bit, man, whew, I can't tell you how many times I've said, I'm going to sit down for 10 minutes, scroll. Next thing you know, 45 minutes. It's too late. Now you stayed up an extra 45 minutes at night, an extra hour or two. Sleep gets pushed back. Recovery suffers. I don't have any type of data on this, but I am willing to bet some money that the average person spends about an hour or two every night scrolling instead of being intentional, putting their phone down, trying to get that extra hour or two of sleep. What are we choosing? We're choosing comfort because that's comfortable. We're choosing easy over being intentional about our sleep, our recovery. And so now we wonder, Man, why is my energy low, man? I have no motivation. It's all gone. I have no time. Maybe you're just scrolling for 2 hours before you go to bed. It keeps you up, it keeps your mind awake. So another thing that I started doing is if I'm scrolling at home, I have this walking pad and I get on it and I begin to scroll on that walking pad. Whatever it takes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, however long. Now I'm doing two things at once. Now I'm, enjoying the dopamine that it brings because it's entertaining and I'm walking at the same time. That's not anything crazy. I'm just refusing to let comfort win. I'm refusing to let it win. And comfort doesn't look like it's something dangerous. Like, I earned this. I worked my ass off today. I earned this hour or two of scrolling. I'm tired. I deserve this rest. I've had a long day. That's how it looks. But that comfort slowly, slowly starts to lower your standard. Being tired. Now you're not going to push it for that workout. Now you're not going to prioritize your sleep. Now you're not going to have time to make that meal in the morning, to make your lunch, to make your food. Doesn't feel wrong. Feels like you have no time, but you're actually choosing comfort over purpose. So that's all I have here today. Hopefully, you were able to take a couple of nuggets from this. If you enjoyed it, share it with another dad, with someone else. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and my Spotify. It helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much. God bless.